So in this question, we're asked to find equations for lines given two conditions, and we want two types of equations. We want both point slope form and the slope intercept form of the equation of our line. So let's start with item A. We're given these 2 points, and whenever we're given 2 points on a line, it's very easy to find the slope. We can always find the slope by doing change in y over change in x. That's by definition what slope is. So how much y changes given divided by how much x changed. So in this case, just pick one of the points. So it could be this guy minus this guy. Sorry, let me write that again. This guy minus this guy. You subtract the y's. So minus 8 minus 1 divided by, subtract the x's. This guy minus this guy. So minus 1 minus 2. You always have to be careful that you do the subtraction in the same order, both on the top and at the bottom of this fraction, because if I did, let's say, minus 8 minus 1, and then I changed the order and I did the first, like 2 minus minus 1, that would be incorrect. So I gotta choose an order. I can do whatever I want. Minus 2 minus 1 divided by minus 1 minus 2 like I did, or 1 minus minus 8 divided by 2 minus minus 1. Whatever I decide, I'll get the same answer, but I have to follow the same order in both the top and at the bottom in terms of what points I'm subtracting. Oh, in any case, this gives me a minus 9 over minus 3, which is a 3. Okay, so that is my slope. And now that I have the slope, it's very easy to come up with the point slope because I also have a point. So I'll choose that point. You could have chosen that point as well, but choosing the first point is easier. So my point slope equation will be y minus y naught equal to m x minus x naught. So y minus, what is the y of my point, is 1 equal to the slope I just found, 3, and x minus x naught, x being the coordinate of my point. I got to choose the same point. That's very important. I cannot choose, let's say, take the 1 from this point and then take the negative 1 from the other point. That wouldn't work. Okay, that gives me the wrong line. So that is the point slope equation. And then to get the slope intercept, that's pretty easy. I expand this guy to get y minus 1 equal to 3x minus 6, and then add that one to the right side to get the slope intercept form. So I can clearly see the slope, I can clearly see what the y-intercept is. Okay. Now B is asking for the same pieces of information, so both equations, and now on B we're just given different information to get it from. What we're told is that my line goes through this point and is perpendicular to this line. So first thing I need to do is find the slope from the fact that I know it's perpendicular to something. So look at this equation that was given to me. This equation that was given was for x plus 2y minus 5 equal to 0. I solve for y to figure out the slope. So 2y, move everything over. So this is a minus 4x plus a 5, divide it all by 2. So I'm dividing each term by 2 separately. And that gives me that the slope of the given line, I'll call it m1, is minus 2. Because my line is perpendicular to this line, then its slope is, I'll call m2, is negative 1 over m1, right? When lines are perpendicular, that is the relationship between their slopes. So this is what you have. And therefore, m2 is minus 1 over minus 2, so 1/2. Now that I have the slope, I also have a point, so it should be simple for me to come up with the point slope form of this equation, of the equation of this line, in the same way I did before. So let's write it out. So this will be y minus y naught, m x minus x naught. So it's y minus 6. This time I have no points to choose from. I only have this guy, so there's less room for error here. And then x minus x naught. Careful, this minus 4 here. because that will turn it into a +4. So this is your equation. And then same thing to find the slope-intercept form. I just use the distributive property. So 1/2 times +4 is +2. And I add this 6 to get my slope-intercept form. These are my favorite forms. This is what's called the general form equation for a line, but I'm not going to ask you about that today. Also think about how I could change this. For example, if I change this perpendicular to parallel, that would just mean that the slopes are the same. So if I find M1 and the lines are parallel, then I know M2 equals M1. So I would replace that with just a -2 right here and continue the same way. Okay. Very easy also to just change the values of the point, just change this equation to make the computation of the slope a little more different. So pay attention to that, really reflect about each question.